What's up, collectors? This is Demonic Review Spot, and since that there is a new Spider-Man movie coming out called The Amazing Spider-Man, I thought I would do a whole week of reviewing various Spider-Man figures that I already own. And I do own a lot of them, but for this week I'm just going to review 5 total. And the first figure here that I will review is the Scorpion figure. And this Scorpion is from the Spider-Man 3 video game. So this is like the video game version of his character, which he was not in the movie. He was only in the video game. So I guess they just came up with this cool conceptual design for him. And as you can see, he does look kind of cool. And I think this figure is very rare because I have not seen much reviews on him. So here's a close-up of Scorpion, of all the detail on him, on his suit here. It's very nice. There's the bottom of his foot, some peg holes. Of course, he has his signature tail. And he has his blades, which I don't believe was on the classic version of Scorpion, but only on this version. And he has some interesting tubes going on here. It's wrapped around his arm. And the great thing about this is it does not hinder his articulation at all. So you can still move his arm just fine, as you can see. And one cool thing about his visor here, you could lift that up and see his face in there. It's pretty nice. A good thing about this Scorpion is that for a 5-inch figure, he does have a decent amount of articulation. His head does go up and down. It goes left and right. Does rotate completely 360. So it's pretty nice. For his arms, they go in and out, as you can see. Does rotate there at the shoulder. He has an elbow joint. And that's about it for the articulation in his arm. I'm surprised he has no wrist articulation. Would have been nice if they would have added one, but there's none there. So it's just for like his elbow and his shoulders. There's no waist articulation. I'm surprised they didn't add one for the his tail gimmick, which I'll show off in a minute. But his leg articulation does go forward and back, as you can see. It goes in and out. For the knee joint, he has 2 joints in the knee. Or actually, no, like, yeah, he has a swivel joint, and he has like one bendable joint right there, which is pretty nice. And no ankle or feet pivoting at all, or toes like they have on, you know, the Marvel Legends. For his tail, see, he has like this part right here, which if you just hold it back like that and let it go, it'll kind of do like a tail attack type of thing. That's why I was surprised they didn't add any waist articulation, so you could just, you know, turn him at the waist and do that. But instead, they have it at the tail at his backpack right here. So it does have a joint right there, and another joint right there, and one last joint right there for the blade hook on the end of his tail right there. And just don't rotate, I believe. No, it does not rotate. So it just has multiple joints to get that cool swinging action. And here's a comparison shot next to other Spider-Man figures, such as the 5-inch Spider-Man from the first Spider-Man movie, and the classic Scorpion, which he does look horrified at his video game counterpart. But yeah, you know, he's going to be in scale with other 5-inch figures, and the legend size figures are going to be always bigger than him. Now, this is definitely an awesome variation of the Scorpion figure and the character. I was lucky enough to find this guy at my local Toys R Us right around the time when Spider-Man 3 came out. So, you know, they were pushing out all the Spider-Man figures, such as, you know, Wave 1, Wave 2, Wave 3, and all that. And, you know, they had these rare video game figures that I knew nothing about until I went there and I saw this version of Scorpion, and I happened to pick them up. And I would say if you're not a big fan of this design, then don't bother buying them. You know, stay away from them. and I would say he's not worth anything too expensive. What I mean by that is, if you really have to have him in your collection, do not go out of your way to pay like, anything like $30 to 40, anything crazy like that. I don't think he's worth that much, but he is definitely rare and cool looking. And, if you can get him for a decent price, definitely buy him. So, alright, this has been my review for Spider-Man 3 video game Scorpion. And this is Spider-Man Week here on my channel, so I will be reviewing other various Spider-Man figures throughout this week. And until then, peace.